You might not want to be here if you are someone that is just genuinely upset by these kind of situations.
Bro, this is
I would recommend that you maybe just watch the VOD at your... I don't want to upset anyone, but I don't know whether I should just keep rambling or we should just get into this.
Yeah, I want the Lenox ASMR.
If I have to clarify anything else going forward, I will. That's the thing. I've been trying my best to ignore it. Like, I've only responded to, like, 20% of the shit that he said. And that's mainly... And I get that that may be a flaw with me. Some people would see it as a flaw and some people wouldn't. But Sylvie does the exact same thing. Because I think we're quite similar people in regards to our sense of justice. Sylvie and myself both really, really, really want to correct things that we believe to be wrong. We both have a strong sense of justice, which makes this hurt even more. I don't really know the guy that well either. I've spoken to him like once in a VC, and even then he spoke at me. I don't recall having a conversation with him, but I could be wrong. So like, I don't know the guy.
What?
That well. He is just, and I'm not censoring names this time, he is friends with Marina, and
yeah,
honestly, he's caused way more harm than Marina ever did, to me at least. I can say that with full certainty. Marina's issue was just...
How do you have the transcript live? This is cool.
Incompetence in regards to like her group and some, you know, ableism that needed unpacked, which I think a lot of people need to do. It's fine. And just something that went sour real fast, although we will be going into some more stuff regarding that I couldn't talk about before because I was protecting her.
Alright, thank you, Lenox.
But we will now have to get into that too.
Oh, it's a live caption add-on for OBS. Oh, cool. Okay.
But yeah, I guess we will just go at this bit by a time. It's going to be all over the place. I'm going to keep the VOD up. All of that shit.
It's better.
We were not friends at all. I guess this is important because he said it begun at a certain point, and he says, like, don't harass, be respectful and empathetic. I've never received empathy from him, even though when his friends reached out to me in private and asked me to delete things and reword them for his benefit, I did. So... But I don't want to do the whole, like, whataboutism bullshit that he does, where it's like, oh, well, he was mean to me, so I can be mean to him. I don't think I've ever actually been purposely mean to him. It's never been my intention to be. I've given a lot of benefit of the doubt, and he just ignores it. And I understand maybe that's because he's angry. I get it. But also, I don't want to talk about any dramas that I don't understand either. Just try and keep chat. It's going to be, I only have, like, Sky and maybe Kazan for a little bit.
Bye-bye,
like,
Daniel.
So please try and just keep chat to, like, I don't want to have to put things in emote mode. I really don't. What am I sipping? I am sipping a drink that I'm not even gonna talk about what I'm drinking right now. I don't want to. There's a reason I'm not using my model because I don't want to fucking bring. I want to bring anyone into this shit. There's no model. It's just my voice. Like, I have fucking nothing to gain from this. But right. Again, please, if things get too chaotic, things will be getting deleted, and I will have to put chat in emote mode if we're not going to be respectful. Because the last thing I need right now is people being rude towards other people. Yeah, Kazan, don't worry. I know this is just out of nowhere. If things... Sorry, I forgot what I was saying.
Isn't it strange that this guy hangs around so many women VTubers? Well, the scene is mostly women VTubers.
I don't want to put chat in emote mode. I want people to be respectful, please. I understand there's a lot of aggression. I understand there's a lot of... To stop. Most of the upset on my part this time round has been from what I've been told is happening behind the scenes. And what...
Yeah, okay.
What this does for my mental, right? The fact that I'm seeing misinformation consistently spread whenever someone goes
Yeah,
to him.
we know that Sylvie edited the document multiple times since he's released it. He's done 3 versions. I do have all of them. Or 2 versions.
Publicly, please do not go to Sylvie. Please do not say things to Sylvie because it's if I get that you might not want to be nice to him. If you want to hurt him, I don't agree with it. But like, you're hurting me more regardless. So don't go to him. I don't think anyone should be trying to purposely cause harm to other people, but just don't. Stop going to him. Stop trying to poke holes in his arguments. I get that I get the want to do it, but at the end of the day, you guys were not there. Sylvie wasn't there for most of it either. Like, do not harass Sylvie. Do not. Although a lot of it is just, you know, trying to hold him accountable. I get that, but just stop going to him. Evidently, whenever you guys do, he just starts talking shit about me. So.
It goes back on Lenox.
Yeah, it's a DNI chat. And I'm sorry if sometimes I sound a bit lighthearted.
Oh yeah, I remember that tweet.
I'm not stalking him. I blocked him after we had DMs, which I will be showing because he told me to show proof. So I do have consent from Sylvie to share the DMs that he has posted to people in private anyway. Shit, what was I saying? There's going to be a lot of this. There's going to be a lot of brain engaging them in the slightest, and even having them blocked, they continue to post about me, accusing me of harassment despite themselves being a harasser. This is just like a bunch of back and forth, right? What is happening is Sylvie and I are both, in a way, retaliating to the things each other are saying, because it seems like if he's not stalking me, right, let's say he's not stalking me, there's no way to know. People are sending him things. People are sending me things. People are sending him things. And I keep telling people publicly to stop sending me things too. And people want to correct things. However, the issue with this is he is correcting things he was not present for. He is standing up for his friend who did not correct anything themselves. I will be, you know, poking holes in that later because he actually posted everything that exonerates me in the document. Oh shit.
Okay.
So I can't stop ads, by the way. I literally can't. So see, when we do get ads, I'm just going to take a breathing break. Got the ads so people don't get pre-rolls. It is that simple. I also have to say that he has posted documents on people before and then deleted them because they backfired. So this is
really?
This is a pattern. But yeah, so he's using my old name. I can understand maybe why he's doing it. He spelt it wrong. I do have a new name now. It makes me happy. It's well, probably for both of us. And the both of us have needed to stop for a long time, which is something that I've said to his friend in DMs. Now, I've only spoken to one of his friends.
Okay, I'm just gonna skip ahead a little.
He makes the reader think about a thing for no fucking reason. And there is a term for this. I just forget what it's called because I'm not as big in the psychology field, and I won't be doing what Sylvie does, like throwing around and accusing people of being schizophrenic or saying that they act like they're disabilities. So don't worry, that is not a space for that because I think that that is incredibly what's the word? It's unfair. The TLDR is that that's like unfair. Lab shade. I have no idea what that is. But I'm assuming Sky will type
Sorry,
it.
he starts by saying, I guess I should start back when all of this started. That somehow led to their harassment stalking beginning. That's how beginners work, right? Why is he writing this like it's a book?
But a friend for a month straight. Nope, this was just me talking about the stuff that Marina had done. Was I vague at the start? I don't know. I'm pretty sure I just openly said about sorry, the chat's some fucking bullshit behind the scenes. So I will get into that after the ad break probably, and I'm just probably, do I even have my fucking buttons for that? Oh, it's been a while. I do, okay.
I think it's going to be
I'm
an ad
going
break.
to take a very quick break. I need a break. But I can't say that. I can only tell people that I've been told that, you know, I can't post proof of it. And I've never tried to say I have proof of it either.
Oh yeah, the stream hasn't cut off today, so maybe the ISP thing did work.
The bright side is that this is definitely helping me a lot, being able to actually talk about it, because if I'm typing it up on my own, I just sit anxious. It's not something I can do, and I also get like severe eye strain, so speaking does make it a lot easier to process. He does deflect with hypotheticals, yes, and he does a lot of that. Slow mode.
Oh, it still freezes?
Yes, please,
oh.
Yeah, I don't think we have people spamming, but just in case.
On Twitch there's 0 cutting? Man.
Yeah, it's 50 something second pages. Isn't that interesting how it's 50 pages?
Yeah.
I've never had this happen. I just keep to myself and I'm just chilling.
I wonder why it does that.
Did Fossabot even say I was doing ads, or do I have to fix that for next time? I have no idea.
Yeah, no, Twitch always works fine. It's always YouTube that,
also,
that
hi,
buffers.
Kaz. I miss you. It did awesome. I am really sorry, by the way, everyone. I understand if people don't want to like be here anymore because this has been going on for so long. I will fully respect people's decision to leave. Like, I get it. I've wanted to leave me, you know?
Okay.
Marina was doing a subathon. They had a very consistent view count of, I believe, 330 viewers, even when they were asleep.
Okay.
Not at the stream.
Okay.
Consistently. There can be reasons that this happens.
Yeah.
Right? Sometimes this is a thing, right? And I was just like, this is strange. And then they were getting weird things in chat. And I was like, that's really strange. I fucking hope someone is not doing this to her on purpose.
Talking about the viewbotting.
But then I started paying more attention and noticing that the same thing was happening to Marina. Marina was having a chat with like 3 people talking. And maybe a one-man at the beginning of stream, and then there was like a one-man spam after a couple of hours, and it was like 5 messages an hour, but she consistently had like 220 viewers. I thought it was very strange, and I was really worried about it, but I didn't say anything, and I didn't do anything other than saying to my partner at the time, who I get is biased, but she can confirm I said this to her at the time, and if I have to, I could go back in our DMs, and it is there. It is there. Like, I did say this to Sky like years ago before it had ever been brought to me. We then started having people leaving VT Rainbow, and then one of the members of VT Rainbow, who was unfortunately not censored, had actually reached out to me and said, by the way, I got a denial letter because of inflated viewership, and unfortunately we think that Marina is being viewbotted. Not that she's doing it to herself, but that we think that she's being viewbotted. There's no way to prove if someone's viewbotting themselves unless you can like find a leaked email on like a botting site.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, I need to know about that, because there was a period of time where I was worried it was happening to me because I had really good viewership. I had a really active chat though as well, and I was also suspecting it about, like, hi Doug, I had suspected it, that it was happening to her. I'm like, holy shit, is all of VT Rainbow being like targeted with bots or something?
Yeah.
And so that person was really like discouraged. They left VT Rainbow, they were not feeling the vibes. And then more people left, but like they'd came to me after that basically, and I was like, I don't want to sit with this. And they were like, I don't want to sit with this either. And I'm like, okay, maybe we should go to Marina. And they were like, no, someone has already gone to Marina and she said that she didn't care and there was nothing she could do. And I'm like, okay, well you can't really get rid of viewbots like concretely, so I can get where she's coming from, but this is affecting other people too, not just her.
Yeah, it's kind of like what's happening with Nijisanji right now. They have accusations of some people are alleging that they're viewbotting. I haven't really had the time to look into it though.
It's like, okay, I'm going to talk to someone in VT Rainbow that I'm really close to and figure out how to do this, because I'm too anxious to go to Marina on my own, because at that point Marina was making me anxious of how she was with me in private, and she's a very intimidating person whether she means to be or not. Okay. Benefit of the doubt here. She might not mean to be, but she is, and she's had phone like a private call with me where I was in tears, which I spoke about, because unfortunately whether she means it or not, a lot of the ways she says things and do things are really hurtful to people and can make them feel incredibly
they addressed it, and it is
demoralized and dehumanized. So where were they fucking at? This is going to happen a lot, by the way. I'm so sorry. I'm going to get lost about where I was. We, feel free to correct me on where I was, because it will help me, chat. Okay, I went to that one person and they were like, shit. And I'm like, I know, right? I was like, I don't know if this is on purpose or not, and I don't care if it's on purpose or not, as long as it's taken seriously. And here's the reason why I went to other people in VT Rainbow. We have what is called a pitch deck. Can I get some O/slashes in chat if you know what a pitch deck is?
A pitch deck?
Does anyone know what a pitch deck
I know
is?
what a pitch deck
content
is.
creators in chat understand, although I know we're in slow mode.
Yeah, but why do you need a pitch deck for content creation?
I have no idea. We could probably make the slow mode slightly less slow. So basically, pitch deck has all of our stats, which is something that Marina did not make, by the way. It was me, Riri, and Mia that made it.
Okay.
We made a pitch deck.
Well, viewbotting on Twitch actually works a lot, because the more viewers you have, the higher you're pushed into your directory, and then you start getting real viewers because you're one of the first people that show up when people click on a directory. So a lot of big streamers actually also have been accused of viewbotting. People like Misgif, people in OTK, things like that. But again, they'll always say that they're not the one viewbotting. It's impossible to know whether they're the one viewbotting themselves or somebody else is.
That's what we give to sponsors, and we get our stream stuff, like our sponsorships, based off of that pitch deck. So if we are showing sponsors, like big brand names, that we have, let's say 100 more viewers than we actually have, that to me feels deceitful. Whether the viewbotting is on purpose or not, that to me feels deceitful. I don't like that. I want us to tackle this as a group. And so yeah, I went to someone that I trusted, who I'd been getting closer to at the time, and they were like, shit, I don't know what to do about this. I need to tell this one person. And I'm like, fair. And then eventually, almost everyone did get told. And it was in a group chat. A group chat where nothing mean was said to anyone. Hi, Wiggles. You don't want to be here right now, gamer.
Okay.
And in that group chat, pretty much nothing bad happened. And that is the TLDR of that, until someone panicked and went and said to Marina, they're having this conversation without you. And then she got really mad at everyone. Which, I get it. I was a little bit upset that they had gone to her because I wanted us to talk as a group. But that's what happened.
Okay, thank you,
and that was basically the downfall of the group. That was the downfall of the group, okay? I understand people might not agree with how I did it, but I stood by my morals. I didn't feel safe to talk to Marina, so I went to someone I trusted. And then people started discussing it with other people. There was no gossip. There was no rumors spreading. It was a discussion of a serious issue that affected the whole group.
Yeah.
Because it was not just Marina being viewbotted. It was at least 2 other people, potentially 3. Because I was suspecting it for a while too. But it can be very hard to... It's definitely almost concrete that there was something wrong going on. But no one is saying that it was done on purpose.
She didn't want to address it. Basically, there was something wrong. We don't know who did it. Could have been her, could have been somebody else. She didn't want to address it because it kind of worked to her advantage, is what I'm getting from this. My mod confirms the bots in chat because he was my source, not Sylvie, for confirming, by the way. Okay, okay. So it's not Sylvie who confirmed it.
Process that way, then I completely apologize because I would never want to fucking say that about someone.
It just happened Sylvie was spreading the same rumor at the time. That's crazy.
Would do to themselves, and that sucks if they do. But when it mattered, and to the people that I was talking to, absolutely the fuck not. So yeah, that's what happened with that. Okay, because this will be discussed later, and I didn't want to talk about this. As you can rightly understand, it's a sensitive issue, and as much as I had issues with Marina, I didn't want to talk about that. It's already been spoken about so much as well. I didn't want to talk about that. And I get that she didn't want to talk about that. Because maybe it was upsetting to her. But we were all there for her and wanted to help her, and she didn't take it. We ended up having a call where we were berated by her partner, all of us, and we were all like, whoa, what the fuck? And then I was spoken over. It was the Marina and one other person show where they just kept talking about bot things, and they were incorrect things about bots, by the way. I've looked into bots. You can choose how many bots come in and out. There are multiple websites on how they work. And
she does seem intimidating.
They're very customizable. It can be very hard to pick up on. You cannot just look at a graph and go, those are bots.
Oh.
And it sucks. it sucks. I hate it, but I don't regret that I let people know that it was potentially an issue because I worried about the rest of the group having bots too. And a lot of us, like, she said this to me in the call, what would you do if someone told you you had view bots? You would be distraught. And I'm like, I'd be worried, but I would say thank you for them telling me. I'd say thank you because I want to know. And guess what I did? And this can be confirmed by some of my fucking mods and friends. I was paranoid that I had bots. I had them checking every single fucking stream to see if they could see anything sus because I was terrified that I had bots too.
Bye bye, Antique.
Which proves that I didn't fucking think it was necessarily on purpose. There was no gossip, and I've not been shit-talking content creators either. I've said some things about Marina to people that were involved or asked me questions. And I have now since said some things about Sylvie. I did it. Wiggles knows, I was terrified. I was so anxious whenever it went like too high. I'm like, why do I have this many viewers when I'm so inconsistent? And I felt like shit about myself. And I imagine maybe Marina felt the same. And I'm sorry if I exasperated that by like letting people know. But other people deserve to know when we share pitch deck. Because that affects all of our sponsorships. Imagine I take a sponsorship because of the person that was removed's numbers when they were still there. But those were inflated numbers. I wouldn't want to do that. There also becomes the issue of if someone is offering services based on their view count, such as advice services, consult services, that can be iffy. But that's none of my business. If you want to do that, that's fine. I'm not going to make you change what you do. But if you ask me what I think you should do, I'll tell you. I'm very open book and I'm very blunt. Do I need to elaborate any more on that, or are we all an understanding of what happened in regards to that?
No,
are we all good?
I think
understand
I get
can't fucking show anything because I left the group chat afterwards.
Okay.
I did have people be able to not agree with everything I do because I think that's what genuine human relationship is about. You do not have to agree with everyone in your life and everyone you watch. We are not angels. We are just people playing video games on the internet and talking. Please do not idolize any fucking streamer. Don't idolize me. Don't idolize Sylvie. Don't idolize fucking Basecast. Don't idolize that fucker either. Please approach everything that you see with critical thinking. Right. So that's that handled. I am sorry that we start off with something as complicated as that. Yeah, we don't agree with everyone we're close to either. So, this tweet. I know it looks scuffed. I'm in dark mode. I can't look at this in light mode. So, after I had kind of been a bit more public about what happened and the things that I genuinely felt were ableism, not purposeful ableism, by the way. Yeah, Wiggles does not yes man me. That would make me mad. I'm like in his DMs all the time, like, I did shit wrong, didn't I? And he's like, shut the fuck up. But I said, and I still stand by this, by the way. I made the statement of having a disabled child, being disabled yourself.
Cass, ooh, when you have time, you should start a Nemo VT thread. People want me to make a video about Nemo VT, man.
Does not negate you from ableist behaviors. If hearing that is too hard for you, don't bring on one of the most outspoken disability advocates in the streaming space. My peers can back up that my communication
and you did
is
such
polite
a good
and fair.
job with the latest one.
This, and you can see this in screenshots below. My communication is polite and fair.
I'm out of water.
In my opinion, it goes by my compass. I try to be reasonable, but
can I leave this running while I get water?
If you've been a regular, you might hear that I communicate a little bit differently now. Because I've really grown the fuck up. Now, I was then told by Sylvie in DMs that this was an attack on her child. No, it fucking wasn't. If anything, this was for her child. This is public knowledge. By the way, Marina has a very young, severely autistic child. Who I'm sure she loves very, very much. I do not appreciate that when she is in hot water, that she, now he didn't bring this up, he said she did a live stream that was harmless. I didn't watch the live stream because I'm fucking banned and I don't care about her live streams. She made a tweet talking about her disabled, like, son, I'm pretty sure. Either way, there was tweets about her being disabled too. This is about both of, like, this is about the fact that she talks about having a disabled child and being disabled, in my opinion, as a way to negate harm from the things that she does to other disabled people. And I like to turn the bad things that I perceive happening into positives. So I make this tweet. They come across as fake tweets. Maybe it comes across, or was, right? Maybe it comes across as, like, toxic to some, but this is me turning it into a learning fucking lesson, right? You can have a disabled kid, you can be disabled, but you still have to improve on yourself and you still cannot treat other people bad that are disabled because they differ from what you're used to, right? Marina has disabilities, I'm pretty sure. That doesn't mean it's okay to have her partner tell us that we're all a little bit neurodivergent, so we don't deserve to ask for things to be better. Or they don't let the other disabled people make things better themselves, because that was all I ever asked for, right? So yeah, any questions on that? I'm literally just rolling them off one by one, right? Now, by the way, this is a 50... am I peeking? Please let me know if I'm peeking, by the way, because I hear it. This is a 58-page document that was made in less than 24 hours. He's had this and he's been sitting on it. He said he was waiting for me to fuck up when all I did was post an email that literally, like, accuses him of saying I'm faking being disabled. Like, it's on the louder side. Shit. Does that mean you just want me to turn up the rain? Or am I actually peaking, Wiggles? I can turn down my... not peaky. Right, I'll turn down my gain in the Go XLR.
Okay.
And second, because I'm on the other PC. Cons, sponsorships, getting money, but not the actual fucking people that she was making do slave labor for her. Like, we went to Offkai and we didn't have questions or anything prepared. She asked us to come up with...
Oh, yeah, I remember the Offkai thing. Can tell you firsthand her and have a lot of ableism to unpack. It happened time and time again. I was outcast for literally just trying to get them help me and others. I'm not saying she doesn't and hasn't tried, but in the group environment, her want for money was more important. Can I ask you if you think it's intentional ableist or merely something that's a byproduct of other factors? I think it's both, but there were 100% times where it was intentionally downplaying shit out of pure lack of regard. Keep in mind, ask very little, most of the time as to be allowed to make shit more accessible. Name Bart was just straight up ableist though. Can I have an example of the times it was 100%? Was it for recommendations or general support?
No one had any input because we're all babies to this. Most of us are not congoers. Most of us didn't join for conventions, which is why a lot of people left, because we just wanted to be in a hee-hee silly gay group. And just be around nice people. And... sorry, what was I saying? Right, basically, we were all in VTable for different reasons, and we were expected to just roll with the punches because we were streamers.
Yeah.
And he's, like, trying to basically play devil's advocate, which I can understand, it's his friend. Can I ask you if you think it's intentional ableism or merely something that's a byproduct of other factors? I'm like, I think it's both. I'm being fair. There were 100% times where it was intentionally downplaying shit out of pure lack of regard. And keep in mind, I asked very little. I was most of the time asking to be allowed to make shit accessible. Pink name, I will actually just say this is Marina's partner. I had a lot of issues with Marina's partner just not being educated, I think probably because... Didn't
a Marina fan also sabotage a Face Connect panel at Offkai? I'm not sure what you're referring to. Does anybody know in chat?
Okay, I don't want Fossabot things to pop up right now. Wiggles, are you able to disable these? I don't know if you are. I'm going to delete it for now.
Yes?
It didn't let me.
What was it again?
But... unfortunately, Fan was just not as educated on the fact that disabilities can differ for different people. She was a very tough it up and deal with it kind of person. I don't blame her for that, but it wasn't helpful, right? It was not helpful and it made things so much worse because whenever Marina was disagreeing with you, she always had someone to back her up, her partner. It made it very hard to communicate, and I have said this. Can I have an example of the times it was 100%? Was it for accommodations or general support?
It was a moderator, supposedly, and yes, I thought he was a Marina fan.
And I said here, when I asked for questions for the panel at Offkai, in advance I was told, we are all neurodivergent in some way, and essentially told no, because you didn't make questions up yourself. This, I can prove this later when he posts more stuff. I was told in private by Marina that my asking for accommodations made people not like me. That happened in private, and I told you guys, thank you Wiggles, I told you guys about this last time. I was told in a call by Marina, you asking for accommodations and accessibility is making people not like you, so you should probably calm down. She told me this in a call. I was in fucking tears, by the way.
Jeez.
And I still genuinely believe this was some way of trying to silence me. I don't think it was fair to say that to someone. It was so unempathetic. And everyone I spoke to said that they never said that about me. So who was it? It would have either been her opinion or Fen's opinion.
She said she made the other people uncomfortable in the group, but no one's ever said that about her, and we're all in support of Lenox. Oh, is it the rogue mod that spam ads during Pippa and Tenma segment? Maybe. The thing that makes it worse, guys, is that this group was based on the premise of being open-minded, of being progressive, of, you know, supporting people with disabilities, supporting people from minorities and LGBTQA+. So it makes it even worse when things like that are talked down to or disregarded, because it's by their own standards. They're not following their own standards and what they're preaching about on their platform. They're being openly toxic. They couldn't even be bothered to do the bare minimum. It's literally fake. And instead of being ultra inclusive, ultra accommodating, they were not accommodating at all. Now she literally just shut down Lenox, being like, oh, you're asking for accommodation. Well, you're making everybody else uncomfortable. I think you should settle down and keep this to yourself. Oh, you're not able to get there? Oh, you're having some troubles because you're disabled? Well, suck it up. Like, what the fuck? What do you mean, suck it up? Isn't what this group was supposed to be about? Yeah. My biggest issue is always the hypocrisy. Exactly. So many people like us are like Marina because that's all they've seen and known, and the rest of us pay the price. Isn't that so sad, though? How are people like Marina and the others the example for this? Why are people relying against these people when they're not good role models at all? Oh, so many are assumed to be like Marina. Okay.
When Marina and fans said they don't want to hold people's hands and babysit, when I was looking for ways to include quieter members with anxiety and neurodivergencies, when I said in a meeting that we can't be expected to show up at the panel with no questions or any idea about what's going on, and fans said we should just cope because we're all streamers. I was told I'd have a target on my back because I'm too loud about helping others. I was always kind, I was patient, and time again I did free labour to the point of throwing up, and it still wasn't enough. This sounds like I'm upset, by the way, but I was not upset about it. I was just disappointed. Because my friends can confirm I still do this. I go above and beyond for everyone to the point of burning myself the fuck out. I do, and that's no one else's fault. But the fact that I get punished for it is not okay. If you don't mind me asking, who said this? We're all neurodivergent in some way. It was Marina that said it. Not Marina, sorry. Fan. It was Fan that said it. I was told I'd have a target on my back because I'm too loud. He's like, too loud of your activism or too loud about your disability? I said in DMs.
Fan is Marina's girlfriend.
The way this is evidence number one of him not actually reading what I'm saying. Right? He doesn't read what I'm saying, and then he, whether it's on purpose or not, I don't know, he struggles, it seems, to understand what is written to him. And then he rewords it for his own gain to make it look like what you're saying is bad. I said, my asking for accommodations made people not like me.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, is it because your activism is too loud or your disabilities? And I'm like...
Too loud with your activism, or too loud about your disabilities, or just in general? It's kind of like how he asked the question about October 9th of this year, and then Burp was like, October 9th of this year, yes, it's written on the screenshot. Like,
no, not activism. I was too loud at trying to include everyone. I was setting so many things up. I had to be in charge of meet and greets because people were not showing up to them. I had to message people. I had to tell Marina about that. People didn't have partners, so I had to put two really shy, anxious people together, and then I went with them for mine. By the way, fucking loved the meet and greet with Makari and Artsy, and I still love them both so fucking much. And have info, oh yeah, the alt text and accessible font bullshit as well. And having info in advance for autistic people and anyone else that needs it. Everyone was so anxious, by the way, about the fucking panel because we didn't know what was going on. And it was a joke, the panel. It was terrible. Partially because of Offkai and partially because we just weren't prepared. All of our meetings...
I hate disorganized thing. I hate not knowing what's going on. If there's an event and it's disorganized, it's wasting everybody's time. It's disrespectful.
Were taken up by like Marina talking about people that were harassing her or talking about stuff that was like months away, like VCAT and stuff that no one was interested in, and we'd get held there for like 4 hours.
Jeez.
Yeah, no one be accusatory, please. Please, like, hold yourselves accountable. I do not want people talking about their own dramas or jumping to conclusions about Marina or Sylvie or anyone else involved. Please just perceive what I'm telling you and keep things on track. Be a VOD on YouTube. I don't really want to put this on YouTube. I didn't put the last one on YouTube. I'll probably just archive it on Twitch. I appreciate that people like to talk about these things. It's
that's the thing, is it does bring hate to the minority group these kind of people represent. And the problem is that there are some bad actors that are actually like transphobic, that are actually racist, that are going to use this and be like, well, see, this is what your side looks like. Stop it.
Essentially told no because you didn't make questions up
People
yourself.
like Marina and Sylvie are insufferable, and that's why they deserve to be called out. That's why.
Questions. No one had question ideas because we didn't know what the panel was about, really. And we were not experienced in panels. And I had to prompt to even be told, like, the baseline of what we were talking about. It was a mess to talk about Offkai. I spoke about Offkai myself on my last VT Rainbow stream about this, the big one that was thingy. Sorry, I don't want to be here for fucking... We could be here for 6 hours if I don't speed this up. Please keep in mind some of this is just some stuff. This doesn't account for the weeks and months I've been treated.
Yeah, I mean, when I asked some people like, why are Sylvie still allowed to operate and all of that in Marina, it's mostly the answer that I received was like because they use this LGBTQ plus thing as a shield to deflect all criticism. I'm not sure if that's the sole reason. I think there's probably multiple reasons. That's probably one of them.
An outcast, having my work cast aside for no reason. Like, you know, I came up with that whole like group project for everyone to do as a group, and then Marina was like, yeah, I don't understand this, and she laughed at it and then deleted it. The attitude towards me was very unpleasant. I never wanted to hate Marina, but she hurt me in her call, and I just can't bear to see others hurt more. I still don't fucking hate her. I just don't. I think she's kind of incompetent.
I think the very large connections.
That's it.
And the large platform plays a part. Like, if you reply to Marina and she replies something totally stupid, but it gets like 200 likes right away, you're intimidated, like right off the bat. Who's gonna stand up to that, you know? It takes a lot of courage to be one person to stand up against 200.
And I don't see her around anymore. I don't communicate with her. And because I'm not a fucking stalker. I wish she never did that statement. Yeah, because they made like the whole group VT Rainbow statement, blah, blah, blah. I hate them having to go over all this again, chat, because we've been over this.
And the other thing too is that we know that they have people that spy on others to gather dirt on them. And then they will like go around and smear you to other content creators, so you don't get to have any friends. You don't get to collab with people. And then you become paranoid because you don't know who to talk to and who you can talk to anymore. Like, does this person hate me? Can I approach this person?
Like, he's trying to disprove stuff that was already spoken about on stream. I feel there's something missing or some disconnect. The jump to no because you didn't make questions up yourself feels weird. Not to say you're leaving stuff out, but more so there might have been miscommunication. Okay, who is in charge of miscommunication and who should be looking out for miscommunication?
It is messed up.
The person in charge. Yeah? So if we're having miscommunication from the person in charge, that just backs the fuck up my argument that Marina was just completely incompetent at running VT Rainbow. And if I was miscommunicating, then that should have been properly discussed, and it was not, because everyone after VT Rainbow, other than a select few people who are still Marina's friend, had my fucking back during and after. Someone who is an evidence first kind of guy, I was disappointed at the lack of evidence Lenox was providing. That's when I decided to check the claims Lenox was making. The yellow group servers, both the public and members one, were still up, so was the group chat. So yeah, we tagged all members and we were told to give panel suggestions. Never denied this, spoke about it on stream. Look at, like, this proves this.
Day of the panel, Lenox pulls out of the panel and proceeds to engage in an unhinged rant about how much better the panel would have been if it hadn't happened yet, if they were in charge of it. I mean, yeah, it would have probably been better if they were in charge of it.
Well, how incompetent it was.
That's not unhinged, that's just true.
During the drive tomorrow, and then they didn't make a list. They didn't make a list, so I then had to ask, which is why we then see me asking. Anyone available for test call? And I was asleep at that point of time because it was really late for me, and like, I was asleep, sorry. And all other people in UK
I still went to the panel, by the way. Also, this never happened. It's so funny. But it's funny because he's putting all these screenshots, and Lenox, you're going over these screenshots and you're like, you're just reading them. Basically, his evidence is the same evidence you're using. He's like disproving themselves with his own screenshots. Yeah, the screenshots just prove you're right. That's what I find crazy, because so far you haven't pulled up anything additional at all. It's all just based on what he's showing.
Like, that was pre 7 a.m. for us, and I'm like, earlier would have been better. And then I feel anxious because we didn't get a test call. So I'm like, at this rate, I don't feel comfortable doing the panel due to the audio thing, because we were told we can't control our own audio. I have a Shure SM7B. If I can't control my own audio, like app side, the shit's gonna be fucking difficult. So I
have a Shure S7B too, and I can't control my audio.
Anxious about that. I may speak somewhat eloquently, but I'm good at asserting my boundaries and needs. And they are still boundaries and needs, even if I can communicate well and I can't ignore them and cause myself this much discomfort or stress. Sad face. This is Marina. You don't have to participate if you don't want to. No problem. I've been juggling a million things. I already said that a baseline. The panel will be member intros, questions from MC. We were not told what the questions were. Q&A from audience. I just wanted the questions. Everyone just wanted the questions. And they're saying here that they have questions, but refusing to give the questions to us because we didn't give them question ideas up here. That's what I'm saying. I did a ping for suggestion or questions and discussion topics, but I don't think I've seen any. Everything's been on me to plan. It was not just on you to plan because you said we will be doing it in the car. You had like 5 or 6 people total at Offkai in person that could help you. Are you stalking them because you want to try and disprove me again? But yeah, he's all like, people should do what's best for their mental health. We're a collective and not an agency. That means work has to be split to volunteers or falls on me again. I'm stressed. This is me trying to do work here. This is me constantly trying to do work for Marina. I remade the whole Discord. I completely remastered it from the ground up. It was still public at the time, so I had to make duplicate chats and reorganize and remake them all for her. And it took me like 3 days. I did so much shit for her, and she's still sitting and saying she has to...
I remember now that Marina wasn't doing a very good job at organizing everything. I remember that Lenox had to pull a lot of the weight in organization and the Discord. It's all coming back to me now.
To do everything on her own. But I get it. She was just not used to this. It's fine. And I'm saying here, I've been consistently expressing concerns, anxieties, and asking questions that have been missed. Sadly, I do understand you have a lot to do. I've also mostly been on my own micromanaging things to get people up to speed with things and make sure things are done. Which is hard as my pings don't seem to be respected as much as others are. This was a problem because my pings were not being like heard, right? No one was hearing my pings or responding because I'm not Marina. I'm not the woman in charge that they all joined for. Which I get, but it was a problem.
Yeah.
15 people on one panel is a lot. And when asking for some sort of game plan or laid out structure, we have sadly not had anything. Which on top of the sound balancing concerns has left me struggling to sleep as I fear letting people down and having a multitude of issues last minute during the panel. I am allowed to express this. I have a disability at the end of the day. I have multiple. I'm in 24/7 full-time care. I have to have things beforehand. See, if my caterers don't let me know they're coming the day before, I can't let them in my house, okay? I am actually autistic.
Wow.
This isn't something I make up because I'm a Zoomer. Like, diagnosed autism as a child in school. I need to know these things. I am eloquent. I can communicate my needs, but that doesn't mean they don't exist. I just needed a very short response instead of being told, here's why you shouldn't need this. I was told why I shouldn't need it instead of just given the information.
So Lenox and the others didn't even know what the panel was about. Wow. I thought I was bad at communicating things.
In a case of not wanting to, it's just a case of things not being streamlined, as they could have been, along with maybe not enough understanding of the needs for those that would need/want more than a let's wing it, because we were basically told to wing it. Yeah, literally no slander, even towards fucking, like, we are not going to slander anyone, because that's what's been happening to me, and I don't think for people like myself at least, that's a vague question, but we're a collective and more input should be encouraged. I'm not sure how we fell so short on this. Some of us have never done a panel and this is new and unknown to us. We didn't even know what the panel was about until the public announcement, along with many a meeting not going in depth on the panel itself. The meeting was about all the real, like the IRL attendees. Been like, oh, I'm going to get the standees. And oh, where are we going to go eat? And okay, where are we going to meet up? What hotel? None of it was about the people that were stuck at home doing it, like, remotely. Who needed support too. And I was offering to support them on behalf of Marina. I did all of the remote meet and greets.
Yeah, Lennox said also just now to no slander, and Sylvie still says, oh, but it could be seen as a call to action. These people are slandering me.
I made sure that shit got fucking done. And that's the thing, I wasn't even asking for assistance, I was asking.
If people are sending mean messages to Sylvie, it's not because of Lenox, okay? It's because he's got 10 years of reprehensible behavior and it's catching up to him. Oi, you! Yeah, you! Hi! If you're not subscribed to my second channel, I don't know what you're doing with your life. So take a moment, press the like button, press the subscribe button, and hit that notification bell on. And thank you so much. I appreciate you. Now let's get back into the video.
To be allowed to help other people. I was doing work for
Lennox
her.
did the best to moderate her community.
I was trying to help. And I'm like, I'll need to see how I feel. Now, he says that I didn't show up and that I was unprofessional. I went to that panel. Mia helped me get there last minute. I got up at like 5 in the fucking morning and I went there last minute.
Okay.
Sorry, 1 second. And it was hard for her. But when people tried to help with that, they were penalized for it and spoken down to. Which is what happened to me. I'm saying I would hope in the future that we can improve on this. I never asked for impossible things. I would also hope there's a willingness to accommodate, considering the main ask is for more organisation and communication. Something I can say I've been forthcoming about. There's too much pushback when people are politely expressing their needs. I say this with good intent. I care about this group, but I can only do so much. Everyone's disabilities are different. Yeah, see, the only evidence I have from VT Rainbow is the stuff that I sent to Sky at the time to ask for advice. That's why, you know, I don't have access to the server anymore, so I can't fucking get at every fucking thing. You know what I mean? And the person that responded here, they don't talk to Marina anymore. And I've spoken to them since. This is them trying to diffuse. Sylvie is them trying to stick up for Marina. They were diffusing the situation, and I love and appreciate them so much. They were just being like, hey, we're all stressed. You're all stressed. Let's just chill out and do what we have. Because it was evident to that person, who's very socially aware, by the way, that this was not getting resolved. Yeah. I was wasting my breath and stressing myself out. And apparently we had Marina crying off Kai and freaking out too. So people were mad at me. And I wasn't mad at anyone, but I was stressed. And so this person was like, we've just got to chill. We've just got to leave it. And I'm just saying, I was expressing anxieties, discomfort, blah, blah, blah. Although this was a different person. But the person after that was just trying their best. Unless this has been, like, labeled differently. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that was all the same person. So I don't know why we were getting different colors. But it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. What I'm saying is, this person is offering to try and improve things after the con. However, after the convention, one of the content creators screamed at us. And we were berated by all the IRL people. And literally beaten down into the ground. It was disgusting, which I've spoken about.
Who they were berated by? Oh, I gotta rewind.
This person is offering to try and improve things after the con. However, after the convention, one of the content creators screamed at us, and we were berated by all the IRL people. And literally beaten down into the ground. It was disgusting, which I've spoken about.
One of the content creators in Rainbow VT or outside that was at a con?
And yet this wasn't, he says it was like the day of the panel. It wasn't. It was the day of the first meet and greets. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay. You didn't say who not to start. Oh, in VT Rainbow. Okay,
spent half an hour in the bathroom of the con center having her own mental breakdown. Okay. Okay. Okay.
What? At these screenshots, no. So how Black, after Lenox said that they were pulling out, spent half an hour in the bathroom of the con center having her own mental breakdown. She had literally been the one doing a lot of the work, and yet Lenox felt like now was the time to go into a rant. I said this is vaguely obligist on Lenox's part because vaguely obligist. How is that even a sentence? Because they are completely disregarding other people's needs or accommodation to make way for their own. This is absolutely not Lenox asking for other members, nor were they denied their accommodation. Now prior to this, I had told Lenox I would be fact-checking their claims to be transparent with them. This likely caused them to panic because 4 days later they DM me this, accusing me of poking them on my alt, stating nothing I said in the conversation was credible. And they again attempted to play victim. It's not an agency, Sylvie wasn't there, it's just a group. Yeah, it's just a group. It wasn't an agency. Sylvie is just getting all of his info secondhand from Marina, who clearly is a biased party.
That fucking sucks! But I was very patient and understanding. Regardless, I was not going on a rant. Also, how would I even know that? It was ableist on Lenox's part because they're disregarding other people's needs and accommodations. Where did I do that? I didn't. I was very understanding here. I was offering to help other people. I don't know if I have to reiterate this or not, but I feel like I've made it very clear that the screenshots speak for themselves. I'm literally saying, I understand you have a lot to do. I've also been on my own blah, 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 blah. And, you know, I'm saying as well...
I'm cringing so hard that he dared use the vaguely obligist term. You could use that to attack anybody. This is vaguely obligist. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Oh my god, I hate that.
Be done better in the future.
It's like when people say, why are you using this word almost like it's a slur? Slurs are slurs. If it's not a slur, then it's not a slur. It can't be vaguely something. What do you mean? Stop inventing new rules so other people have to jump when you say jump and fly when you say fly. Shut the fuck up.
There's nothing wrong with
I hate that.
I'm allowed to express my anxieties and concerns in the same way that Marina is allowed to express hers. They do contradict the point you tried to make. He just doesn't like me. This is not Lenox asking for other members, nor were they denied their accommodation. I wasn't given the questions. I was denied the accommodation. I was not given my questions or anyone else's questions, despite me still, like, trying my best to get it for them. It was for everyone. I was trying to get shit for everyone. I was really trying my fucking best. But yes, I did kind of... I was asking. We were told if we need something to ask for.
Yeah, I'm getting a great first impression of him.
Unfortunately, we got a vague baseline, but I did my best to work with it, and I did go. Prior to me discovering this, I told Lenox I would be fact-checking their claims. I said go ahead. This caused them to panic because 4 days later they DM'd me this, accusing of poking them on my alt, stating nothing I said in the conversation was credible, ironic considering the above, and they played victim. No. Right, do you want to know that he left out the whole thing here? Right, the whole thing? And then said, do you want to know what I said before this? He said, if you want to go, you can. Do you know what? He's giving me permission to leave because I said to him, please can I go? Please can I leave? Because I was upset. I was distressed because he had me backed into a corner, which we're going to go over. And then I'm just like, I'm sorry for everything. I was a mess. I was in tears and I didn't know what was real anymore because he was turning me against my friends and he was talking about fucking Erin the whole time. And I'm like, stop talking about Erin. I don't want to talk about Erin. It hasn't.
So, wait, stop poking me on your alt, please. I know it's you for many reasons. You're not smart or good at hiding it. Nothing you have said in these DMs has credibility. I see right through you now. Please just stop trying to hurt an already hurting person.
Nothing to do with me right now. I don't know her. I didn't know her that well at that point. Or did I? Whatever. I didn't. I was suspecting bad shit about Erin for a long time, as we know, because I fucking helped with bringing that shit to light, okay? I was Erin's biggest critic behind the scenes, and anyone that was there can confirm that I was Erin's biggest critic behind the scenes because I held, excuse my language, but I held that bitch fucking accountable. Frequently, and I spoke to people, but I held her more accountable than anyone else in that fucking server did, which is not a slight to anyone else, but I was making sure everyone was okay because that's the kind of person I am. At the point of Sylvie being kicked from Erin's server, I did not know what was going on because I'd only met Sylvie like once or twice and then he was gone and I didn't even know why because I wasn't a part of it. I held Erin accountable and I got evidence as things were happening because I knew it was going to go down.
Yeah.
As things were going badly, I started documenting shit from Erin because I had the spoons to do so. Never a fucking again will I do that. Unless it's necessary.
Smart.
Because it destroyed me. I was mid-move. I was typing up a Google Doc in a room that only had a computer and a desk. Yeah, he thinks that I was with Erin against him when I didn't even know him. And I was, oh, no, I was Erin's fucking worst fan. She would share misinformation and I would correct her on the fucking spot. She would not get sponsorships for people and I would hold her accountable. We didn't have contracts, I held her accountable, which we've all seen. So nobody can argue that I was enabling Erin. I said to him at the time, I don't know Erin, but that sounds sus, but I don't want to talk about it. I have an alt, unmasked Sylvie, you do, and you talk about me on it all the time, and it's very upsetting. I hadn't really been too active with the account, is it? Blah, 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 I don't know what he's saying here. I talk about hockey, blah, blah, blah. I felt like addressing this too, Lennox. They reached out, and they left all of the other message after this where he was being really mean to me, so I guess we'll have to go over that too, right? He was disgusting to me in the rest of these DMs. He was so disgusting. At the time, I noticed Lenox openly engaging with transphobes, and rather than denouncing them for misgendering Marina, they continued to engage with them. No, I'm going to stay right now. The people that are purposely misgendering Marina will never gender her properly, and I'm fucking sorry to Marina for that. I get it too. My girlfriend...
Why does it say misgendering black? It's not Marina he's talking about. Lenox openly engaged with transphobes, and rather than denouncing them for actively misgendering black... Oh, black is Marina? Oh, it's color-coded for Marina and Fern. He refused to name her. It's a color code. What? Continue to engage with them. I took the opportunity to also point out the hypocrisy with such action as they claimed allowed them to be consistently misgendered.
Friend gets it in real life. Okay, my girlfriend's fucking trans, so people can shut the fuck up. People misgender her all the time.
Why does he refuse to say her name? That's so weird.
And it sucks. But
she who must not be named.
Some people are just going to correct passively. We don't all have to handle things the same way. It doesn't make us transphobic. So when people are saying he, I'm responding and saying she and correcting the things that I can correct with my current fucking spoons. Okay? I will not have someone call me transphobic for that.
No, that's not transphobic. That's stupid.
All of the people misgendering me, by the way, in Sylvie's replies, he doesn't correct every single one of them. So I guess Sylvie's fucking transphobic too by that argument. I'm not doing this whataboutism bullshit, okay? Neither me or Sylvie are transphobic. We both support trans people, and that's the end of that argument, okay?
Do people even... Does he even know what transphobic even means? Or has he just thrown that word around as an attack for everything? That he's lost the plot?
We get that. The funny, I've never misgendered Sky once in her fucking life as well. That's the funny part. I actually avoided gendering them when they were like in the middle ground of gender stuff.
Yeah, he knows he doesn't want to drag Marina into it because it's gonna make her look bad. Yeah, transphobic criticizes Marina. Exactly. That's what it means to be transphobic.
I refused to use the wrong pronouns when they were still figuring things out. So no one can fucking... If Marina watches this one day, I'm fucking sorry you get misgendered. You do not deserve it no matter what you do. No matter what mistakes you make, you do not deserve to be misgendered. But you know better than anyone you can't correct every single person that misgenders you, because it's the more I argue with them for you, the more it's going to hurt you too. And we both know.
I mean, some people do it purposely, some people do it not on purpose. I mean, in Marina's case, you're probably doing it purposely if you're misgendering her because she is female presenting. Like, TBH, I didn't even know she was trans. I just thought she was a woman. I don't really care, TBH.
Know that. And Sylvie knows that too. Thank you, Sky. And apparently continued to engage with them. No, I responded in
like her gender doesn't have to do with anything. If you're a shitty person, you're a shitty person, period.
Someone called it a, they called it a corpo, and I'm like, it's not a corpo, it's a group. Apparently I'm right. Allowing me to be misgendered. So what happened in regards to that? Was anyone potentially there for the Prominence Poker collab with Fenzi, TFM, Johnny, and Kari? It was a very long time ago. Please tell me. I know some people
the one who do it on purpose are shitty people. Does anyone remember
when I played that stupid Prominence Poker game? Like fucking last minute at like the worst time of day ever?
The one who do it on purpose are not helping at all. And they are just giving ammo to people like Sylvie who are batshit insane.
Anybody fucking know? Well, regardless, I got misgendered so many fucking times during that collab and I didn't correct anyone. It felt really bad.
Oh, Marina fans also deliberately misgender any queer person who criticize her, so Sylvie has zero grounds to say this. Well, there you go.
So I spoke in that Sky remembers, but unfortunately she's a biased source, so I understand if people don't want to believe her, but it did happen, and it can be confirmed. And so in the server after that, which she hasn't posted screenshots of, which is really funny, but it did happen in the VT Rainbow Discord. I was like, hey, I understand it can be hard sometimes, but I think that when we are in a group called VT Rainbow and it's about pride, we should probably try not to misgender our own members. Can we improve on this, please? And everyone's like, absolutely. Marina said nothing. And then I had to bring it up in a call because I got misgendered by someone in a call during a meeting. And that person was like, oh, I really struggle with they, them because it's not grammatically correct. Now, this person is not transphobic. They just struggle with that, and I fully support them. I still like them. I do still like them. They just struggled with it more. I had a problem with the hypocrisy on Marina's part because she should have said way more. And she just kind of went, yeah, that's okay.
See,
and then
Lenox is totally, she's reasonable because, sorry, they're reasonable. I'm the one misgendering them now. But they're understandable when people don't do it on purpose. When people do it on purpose, then it's insulting. When people don't do it on purpose, it's like, okay, you let it slide. Yo, people call me the wrong name all the fucking time, or they spell my name like Rimu, and I don't say anything. I don't care. Sometimes I started a new job and my boss called me the wrong name the entire time, and only like the next day I told them that, yo, by the way, this is not my name.
Comforted the person that was misgendering me accidentally, instead of being like, I understand this, and putting her foot down and saying we need to do better as a LGBT group. I personally don't care when people misgender me that much. I just think that it was embarrassing for the group, and I tried to make it improve because it was a lot of hypocrisy.
Because it's about that. They're in a group about pride. You know what I think? I think Marina doesn't say anything when she gets called out because she hates any kind of criticism.
Embarrassing, so I was trying to help them improve.
Rim.
I just don't like hypocrisy. People misgender me all the time. I really don't care. So that was just kind of frustrating that Marina was just like comforting them, which is whatever, but that person did get a lot of special treatment because they have issues, which is fine. They deserve it. But other people asking for less didn't get that, which sucks. And they told me personally they would try and make things improve. Obviously the group's gone now. I trust that they would have tried, but it's like everyone saw there were issues in the group. No one can deny that there were issues in the group.
Yeah, it was performative.
Are we now understand? Do we
they
understand
were doing,
that I am
what is it? Rainbow marketing?
Not letting people misgender Marina or anyone else. I'm not transphobic. I'm not openly engaging with anyone that I deem to be transphobic, and if I don't check anyone, everyone that replies to me. A lot of people also don't understand, but I have severe vision problems and brain fog, so if I don't see who I'm replying to, but I see, like, for example, Final Fantasy XI being mentioned, I'll respond to that not knowing who I'm talking to. So I'm fucking sorry if I missed the mark on that one as well.
Yeah, exactly, Squeaky.
But that doesn't mean I support transphobia. It's not possible to correct everybody, and I also think it hurts the trans people involved because then they have to just see people arguing about how they're not valid in being trans and that they're this and that, and then it just causes more bigotry to happen in the fucking comments. And I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to see it. It's disgusting.
Oh, she went after Kyo. She can't stand it. She made a stream just to sick her fans at Kiyomaru, who made a video that is not favorable and used this thumbnail as an excuse. Literally brigaded him live. That's why Sylvie mentioned the bunny fucker. And she was like, you know, his name is Keo. He's not gonna get you in here. You can say his name.
Listen, I'm opening the DMs. Hi, Lenox. Oh, you know what? We don't even need to read this because I'm gonna just open up the DMs, right? Yeah, this is the thing we just went over. You can see here. It's
oh,
not
that's
org,
the DMs with him?
Not a corp or anything like this. Hope that helps. They then got it wrong again. I'm not engaging with that. That's a bigot that doesn't want to talk.
Isn't that blank name? Dude, you guys have signed on like a serial harasser. It's not an org. It's literally her group, not a corp or anything like that. Hope this helps. Weird that anyone would join his group, but he's pretty... Oh, okay, that's the person that's misgendering her on purpose. Somebody responds, blank is... This is Marina's name, I assume that's barred out. Is a woman, firstly. No, he isn't. I can see this person tweet, but I can piece a lot together. I was repeatedly misgendered inside barred out name or months, and I corrected people many times. You know who didn't give a fuck? Marina, Lamau. But yeah, I never support the misgendering of people. This shit's wild. So in that same screenshot, Lenox calls out the misgendering. How is this screenshot being used against Lenox in this situation? Is Sylvie stupid? I don't get it. Why is Sylvie including this screenshot? I don't get... Is he stupid? Sylvie, do you have a brain? Legit question.
Talk about things. Someone else corrected them and then they said, no, he isn't. I'm not engaging in that. Because that's someone that just wants to be transphobic. They're not gonna listen.
True. Well,
and I'm just pointing out that I said I was misgendered inside VT.
You're not gonna convince somebody on Twitter. Oh, sure.
Rainbow. I don't know why we're censoring VT Rainbow. I don't support people being misgendered. I don't care what crime someone commits, I don't support misgendering them because then you're saying that other trans people deserve to be misgendered when they make you mad. And I don't think that's okay. And that's it.
Smart.
Why were these posted twice? I don't fucking know, but they were. Shame on you. Oh, he did post them. Okay. Shame on you. Anyone who cares about misgendering wouldn't just let someone misgender. Right. We've been over this. You had my trust and then you broke it. Be better. I don't think I had his trust to begin with, but that's okay. If you don't like me because I'm not fighting every transphobe.
I don't know what narratives Sylvie's trying to push because all of the screenshot he's been putting in the documents debunk his own narrative. Oh, Marina doesn't confront anyone on her own. She just sends Sylvie.
That's okay. I'm not like you. I don't have the fucking mental fortitude to fight every transphobe, nor do I want to because the internet is an escape for me. I am very traumatized. I've been through a lot of shit. I just want to play video games and hang out, stand up for the things I believe in, and to the best of my ability.
The worst part is that there are some people who will be convinced just by this. Shame on you. Anyone who cares about misgendering wouldn't just let someone misgender right to their face, regardless of how you feel about someone. Misgendering anyone is not okay. That's literally what Lenox said. That's literally what Lenox said in the screenshot above that.
Using my platform, but I'm not going to argue with people in comment sections because I did that when I was a kid. When I was 14, I used to argue with like moms on Facebook with autistic children because they called their kids like the arsler, and I used to tell them, no, don't do that, that's terrible, you shouldn't call them that, right? And I used to be up at like 4 in the morning crying because some fucking 50-year-old bigot's telling me I can call my kids R-worded if I want to, and I'm like 14 and I'm fucking crying in my bedroom at 4 AM. I'm not doing that shit again, okay?
Yeah, Sylvie expects Lenox to argue with everyone on Marina's behalf for some reason.
I've just grown thicker
it's ridiculous.
Skin, okay? I don't agree with it. I have been called these slurs. I live in the...
No, I hate, I've said it before, the performative outrage when people try to rally other people to hate somebody, or usually it's a creator or a public figure, in regards to some kind of moral reason, when in reality they simply don't like them. But saying I simply don't like them doesn't really convince people enough, so instead you gotta paint them as somebody evil, somebody who's misgendering people, etc, etc, somebody who supports the transphobic people. Just nobody's buying it.
Living or independent living, whatever you want to call it, and all the people around me have been subjected to slurs consistently in their life, okay? I don't stand for it and I fucking hate it, but I've learned that the more that I fight people publicly about it, the more they do it to try and get at you, and then they come to your stream and they spam it in your chat, and then you get hate raided.
Yeah.
Right? And then you get depressed, and then you can't...
Yeah, if you get one guide and they know it's affecting you, then they're gonna do it more.
Stream because you're depressed. Never again am I doing that. I can't believe you guys are not calling me a hag. That's so funny. I was expected to get called a hag for saying that. Let's go, right? But yeah. And then they blocked me. He said I blocked him first, but then he's admitting that he blocked me.
They always do that, these kind of people. They always block me first, then I block them, then they're like, but Rima, like I blocked them like 4 months later, and they're like, but Rima blocked me. You blocked me 4 months ago and I didn't even notice because your existence is irrelevant to me. I believe in meaningful activism, not petty arguing on Twitter, TLDR. Yes, that's the healthy way to go about it. Change what you can actually change, not things online.
Unless that was on like his all, I don't know. I might have, there was a chance I blocked him after our DMs, immediately after, because my friends told me to block him, I believe. And then I unblocked after a day. I think I blocked immediately after the conversation because I was inconsolable. I don't know if people are in chat, but I was in a Discord with friends, in tears. I think I joined the call and I was fucking distraught about it. And everyone's like, please just block him just for the night because you don't want him to DM you again. And that is why I blocked him. But if we're policing people on who they block and why, that's not very progressive. Because I thought that the progressive view was that we should block people that upset us and make us feel unsafe and hurt us. Right? Is that not the view that people, like, for example, Sylvie shares this view? You should block people that make you uncomfortable. So yes, yeah. I blocked him because he made me uncomfortable, which we will go over.
Okay.
And yeah, I want this to stop. Everything I've claimed is backed up by physical evidence or has been backed up by multiple witnesses. He posted the physical evidence himself. The multiple witnesses said so in my stream about VT Rainbow. And I'm gonna name names. It feels like 3 years, but it's unfortunately been less than that, Angel. It's been like 1 year and 2/3. But Adora backed me up. Riri backed me up. Mia backed me up. God, now I have to fucking remember every single person that was in VT Rainbow now. Dandy also backed me up, who was not officially in VT Rainbow, but she was eventually there.
So Lenox got support from the other VT Rainbow members, or ex-VT Rainbow members.
A lot of other people in private had said, I've blocked Marina because blah blah blah, who were in VT Rainbow, they just weren't in my chat. So I have the silent being backed up by multiple people who I won't name because it's in private, and then I have the public backing up of like 1/3 of the group. So 2/3 of the group is like with me. The only people that have not backed me up are Marina and Fen, and some people that left, who have never spoken to me since, but I don't think I'm on bad terms with. And Johnny in particular reached out to me and said, hey, I think that, you know, people are taking advantage of you. And I said to him, I don't appreciate the insinuation because I'm autistic, because this was how he phrased it, that I'm getting taken advantage of by my friend. I don't think that's fair. By the way, SilvySpark did fucking shit talk TFM Johnny. That was my first impression of him. I went into a call in a Discord with him the first time I met him, and I was talking to my friend who
Surprise!
In that Discord, first time being in there, this wasn't Aaron's Discord, and Sylvie fucking chimes in wanting to shit talk TFM Johnny, and someone had to tell him to shut the fuck up, because we don't do shit talking. Other people in there might do shit talking, and I have definitely shared the word of what happened with Marina, but nothing I said in private.
Wait, Sylvie shit talking to somebody else the first time they meet someone? Color me shocked.
Nothing I said in private was...
color me surprised. God damn it, I never get the right expressions.
Not something I said publicly too. Other than, like... the bot thing, which we have now discussed. Oh yeah, we do have ads coming up. This is a good time to do ads.
Why did Johnny let Sylvie be his channel manager?
And then continue with the doc. Hey, I guess he's a good editor. We're like a third through. It's not that bad. We're not... most of this is about a podcast that I almost went on. It's not even about me, mostly.
Okay.
And we can get into... I'm trying to like speed through it,
yeah,
and then we can
properly
get through that.
After. I think it's a little bit after the screenshots with...
some of this. Okay, yeah, he did...
oh, it's here. Okay, wait.
All of my mods... anymore. I get it. And if anyone wonders why I have Twitter blue before I didn't this.
Okay.
Do this. Does that... is stuff being cut off? Fuck. Okay, I can't make it that big. Can we still see this? It's really hard for me to tell because it's on 2 computers. I hope this is big enough. I can't make it any bigger. It won't fit all my shit. That's clear. Okay, because I don't see it full screen. I'm sorry. Right. We've gone over some of this. Okay, yeah, he didn't post this. He didn't post all of this. I've said, this was the first thing I said to him, Grok, but I know the thing doesn't work anymore. I get it. And if anyone wonders...
I understand wanted to be an advocate. Believe me, I legit stood up to Silvervale during the whole HL situation for my trans friends and homies who were getting targeted and dealt with months-long harassment for her fans. Silvervale never did or said anything transphobic. What? However, there are lines you don't cross, and going after someone's child is one of them. Makes you look like a bully yourself.
Wonders why I have Twitter blue before that gets used against me. I don't have any monetization. It's so I can multi-stream to Twitter when I go back to streaming. Because, God forbid, I want to reach more people, to have more people watch me play games, because I like talking.
Remember when Sylvie said he never called Silvervale out in DMs with Burb? Yeah. Yet you did. No, he said Marina also never did. I'm pretty sure she did.
To people about Final Fantasy and rhythm games and all of that.
It's funny because, like, my IRL friends are literally all gay. Or LGBTQ. Some of my friends from back then, probably some of the first trans people. Like, that was before it became a big thing. So, and it's funny because when this whole thing was going on, I have a friend called me, yo, I just bought Hogwarts Legacy. Do you want to play? Like, they were so excited about it. No fucking clue what's going on with the internet discourse or something. It was so fucking funny. Just to show you the total divide between like online activists and what is the reality of what's really going on with the LGBTQ people. They just want to live, they just want to have fun, you know, peace and love everybody, that's it. They're not out there fighting people on Twitter over a video game. I was like, well, you know, there's a lot of controversy going on with that game right now. Have you heard about it? Well, I don't give a shit. I love Harry Potter. I'm gonna play. So you coming over? I have it on a PS4. They don't even have a PC. It's like console gaming.
I can crop the tabs on the left. I can't do it and move over. I don't think. Wait, can I? I can't move. It's not letting me move it over. It's got to be too much to adjust, and I don't want to leak anything bad. So this is still fine because all we can see here is.
We do gotta rave together, Taiga. That'll be so fun.
Okay. So I said to him, I don't know you. All I know is that you've stirred the pot for every second of this. Feeding information to both sides for no reason.
You're back.
Because that's what I had been told, right? That he had went from Ern's Discord, fed information to Marina, and then it upset friends of mine. But I don't know what's truth and what's not in regards to that, but that was just what I had been told, right? I never publicly said that this is something he did. I said it to him in DMs, which is technically giving him room to defend himself. It's not slander if I'm telling him something that I heard. Because he can... I'm not publicly saying he did this exact thing. She's talking about her... This is about Marina and the child stuff. We're going back, right? This is about... She's talking about her own child. She's not without fault. That's the thing. See, when you post about your own child on social media, and then people are like, I don't like that you're saying this thing about your child or you're using your child for this. That is not attacking the child. That is... I'm someone who really just doesn't think you should have kids on the internet at all.
Yeah.
And I think that it can be very hard to have your kids in a live streaming space as well, and it puts them in danger if you're not incredibly careful.
Yeah.
And Marina unfortunately does have a proven history of actually posting things to do with children. Nothing like, you know, illegal, I don't think, but she has posted letters from kids from her school and all of that stuff, so I already had a bad taste in my mouth hearing about that. And this is stuff that's just online, right? But I don't think that she's ever purposely caused a harm to a child. That's not something I've seen. I just want people to know. I worked in a school too. You're not allowed to post stuff the kids give you. When I stopped working at the school I was in and they gave me
that'd be fucking weird.
And like flibbers and shit, I couldn't post that because you're not supposed to post the stuff from the kids. Drawings or anything. I did hear that, but I've not seen the actual images, so I can't comment on that, and I don't want to theorize about it. If people...
Wait, so Lenox says, that's not being bullied. I'm not even going after a child or anyone. I'm stating an objective truth. She has an autistic child and did an ableist shit. I'm allowed to say this. If the conclusion you jump to is that I am a bully for stating a fact, then there's no conversation to be had here. Also, you're not a silent party. Don't think I don't hear anyone that goes on. Don't hear everything that goes on and that I haven't seen firsthand the hurt caused by your action. Sheesh! Burn! I don't really understand what this is about, though. She can say she can't be ableist all she wants because of her autistic son, her own disabilities, but that doesn't negate her actions and harm caused and her lack of willingness to apologize and improve. Hey, Armpit Findom fans, check out those doodles my middle schoolers drew for me. Isn't that weird? So he's screenshotting those DMs as proof that Lenox is being unhinged or a bully? It doesn't prove anything.
Want to look into things they can, but this is not meant to be about Marina. I'm only bringing her up because he did. Because he continually gets Marina caught up in more shit. Because it doesn't seem like he understands. He's making things worse for her.
Yeah.
But yeah, she can say she can't be ableist all she wants because of her autistic son, her own disabilities, but that doesn't negate her actions and harm caused and her lack of willingness to apologise and improve. That's not being a bully. I'm not going after her child or anyone. I'm stating an objective truth. She has an autistic child and did ableist shit. I'm allowed to say this. If the conclusion you jump to is that I am a bully for stating that fact, then there is no conversation to be had here. Also, you are not a silent party. I don't know everything that goes on and that I haven't seen firsthand the hurt caused by your actions. He was constantly trying to get one of my friends to talk to Marina when she didn't want to anymore. She was done and he kept trying to fucking pressure her and then she eventually blocked him. That was the main issue she had with him, I believe. And then he gets fucking catty with me. I hate to burst your bubble, but I wasn't any sort of leaker. I nearly lost my friendships just for not saying anything. Me actually talking to people with views that oppose my own isn't a bad thing. Oh, really? Oh, really? Me talking to people with views that oppose my own isn't a bad thing? Wow, Sylvie, because you said it makes me a bigot.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so when he does it, it's fine. When Lenox does it, that's not fine.
Me talking to people with views that oppose my own isn't a bad thing. Really?
True, 13 page of facts beats 59 page of fiction.
If I am, for example, give information to under the tea so there's no misinformation spread, that doesn't mean I support the bad stuff that under the tea does. Because I don't. I learned a lot of things about under the tea from the document, so thank you. I do not support the shit I saw, and I did not know I was still following a certain account. Because did you know that when you have when an account gets suspended and you follow it, and then they get unsuspended, you automatically follow them back? That's not something I did on purpose. That's how Twitter works. And I understand some people here watch Under the Tea, they like the podcast, they support the people in it, and they've been nothing but nice to me, but that doesn't negate that I disagree with a lot of their views. I don't like the slurs. I have slurs, like, completely disabled on my, I have so many muted terms. I have Vtubers muted. I had to unmute it so I could see the replies to my tweets. Vtubers, Vtubing, every variation of the R slur, every variation of the N slur. Everything to do with Hogwarts Legacy is also muted. I have everything muted on Twitter, so I don't see when people are saying slurs and when people are being anti-Semitic and being a white supremacist.
That's crazy.
Because
following somebody on Twitter is not proof of endorsement.
I have it all fucking muted, and I'm also not on Twitter 24/7, so I don't see things. And did you know that if you're following someone but you don't interact with them, you stop seeing them on their feed? So if anything, that proves that I didn't interact with these people because I didn't see them on my feed doing bad things.
Yeah.
I didn't know that Oko was continuously calling people slurs to do with being in special education, which is not something we say here. I would never fucking call anyone those words. I even fought with people on Twitter and got called, not Twitter, on TikTok, and got called racist because I advocated against the S slur being used in, like, Beyonce and Lizzo's songs, because that's a slur in the UK.
Huh?
Yeah, followed as an equal endorsement. Do you know why I followed Under the Tea? I followed them for a couple of months because I wanted to see any coverage that was further done on me because I deserve to correct misinformation. Marina has been on Under the Tea. That doesn't mean she supports everything they do. Marina had Oko on Discord and was friends with her on Discord and spoke to her.
Yeah, Marina literally went on Under the Tea. She went there unannounced.
Regularly. Until Oko stopped agreeing with the stuff Marina did, and then Marina stopped talking to Oko. Rules for thee and not for me. Yes, Marina has also collabed with Nuxtaku. But I'm not going to get into that because I don't want it to be about her. But Marina... Sylvie's friends do these things too. You cannot police and say that every person someone follows or replies to, they endorse the bad things they do. Yeah, people from Under the Tea were the only people that reached out to me. So I responded and was like, I am happy to give you information. I gave other people information too. Nothing I didn't say publicly because I didn't plan to stream publicly originally. I was going to go on the podcast and then I got told and shown information. And I was like, I understand that this is bad, but I also know that these people are showing me this because they want me not there. They want to silence me because Marina was allowed on the show and she knew ahead of time that they were being bigoted because she told us this. It's a term for people who have, like, muscular dystrophy and stuff, so they have muscle issues, so their movement can be perceived as weird. I don't know if that helps, Yami. But right, yeah. Talking to people with views that oppose my own isn't a bad thing. Okay, so every single time he's accused me of doing that...
in the UK, in the UK.
By his own admission here. If you want to play that game, it's how you get a better perspective. I agree. People become further radicalized if they are not treated kindly by people with different views. You don't want to live in an echo chamber.
That's
so if someone's interacting with me and I know they have bad views, if I can be kind to them and try and help them have better views, is that a bad thing?
No,
it
it's
doesn't
not.
mean I agree with the bad things they do.
That's also what I try to do.
Someone's posting fucking, like, can I say the word on Twitch? If someone's posting very bad thing that happened in Germany in 1940s, I probably will want to avoid that because that's very severe. And if I see that, I'm like, oh. And if I can tell someone just doesn't want to be a better person, that too. Right. Like, But also, I was not close to people under the tea, and they will probably confirm that themselves. I had a very brief discussion with them.
But Sylvie said that word before. There's literally logs in my Discord of Sylvie saying the F word on cooldown. I don't know.
There, because they wanted to see if I was...
I don't know if they're in a place where they can lecture anybody about the use of slur or misgendering people.
Okay, which I'm entitled to fucking do. And I will be open about that. They made sure I was okay. I corrected any misinformation that they potentially...
That's kind of cool.
...potentially shared on the stream by accident, because that's important. And I haven't spoken to any of them in a VC
Sylvie
since.
Also said the N-word on DeviantArt. I feel like that's one of the most unforgivable slurs, not gonna lie.
I wanted to see what was going on, and then I saw bad stuff happen that I disagree with, and it was too much, and it unfollowed. But that was all I'd ever seen. I hadn't seen slurs, I hadn't seen racism, I hadn't seen ableism. I know, for example, that Mizu disagrees with my take on Elden Ring being accessible, but I think that a lot of non-ableist people also disagree with that, so that was the farthest I knew about ableism too. I want them to be better people. It's not my place to help them, and I don't support them. Right, and then he's like, you're going after a child, aren't you blocked? How did you watch the stream? I didn't watch the stream. And then he starts talking about a little group chat where I used him as evidence without his consent. So there's the fucking...
The word is not important, the meaning behind it is. The intention behind it. I follow people I disagree with all the time too. I need to know what's going on in every corner of the internet. I need to have my fingers in all the pies. But I saw an account, I think she was a public figure, sort of political, and in their bio, they were like, they had a disclaimer like, who I follow is not an endorsement. I was like, do I do that? Should I put that in my bio? Should be common sense, but common sense is rare these days.
There's the thing. So, Sylvie was the one actually spreading the rumor about Marina purposely viewbotting. Because Marina... You know, Sylvie was a mod for Marina, saw what he perceived to be bots, went to her. She didn't care, again, even when Sylvie went to her, which is how other people ended up knowing, apart from me, because I already figured it out on my own before anyone had spoken to me, and there's proof
this
of
is the part we were talking about earlier. This is interesting.
Someone in private. And...
Yeah. No, you guys are right. People who argue in bad faith will brand me in bad faith. I remember somebody commented on my channel once, and they said, you guys are fucking stupid. They were like, you're so fucking dumb, Rima. It's the way you act is like as if you go to a bar brawl, like you go to a bar fight and you start citing Socrates. You start citing philosophy. You're not even speaking the same language as them, and you think you're gonna get through to them. And I was like, you know what? You're kind of right.
He then started going around to telling everyone that Marina was viewbotting on purpose. And then it caused this whole thing. And he felt like shit about it because then Johnny told him that there were no viewbots, which is not true. Viewbots, he was basically saying because it didn't go up in like a linear line that it's not viewbots, people were leaving and joining. You can purposely make bots leave and join. I know a lot about viewbots. It has not been fully confirmed, but it's pretty concrete that there was definitely a problem with her being viewbotted. Because it was confirmed for other members of VT Rainbow. But that's not what I'm here for. This is just about the fact that it was being spread, right?
Basically, he was saying, why are you trying to reason with people that don't want to be reasoned with? And he was kind of right. That comment stuck with me.
Right? And people are allowed to be cautious when they suspect something.
Dog, you won't get the food. Stop.
What was I saying? Yeah, he was the one that really like started fucking spreading it around. He agreed and then changed his mind. But the thing is, you can customize viewbots to come in and out like 5 minutes apart. You can be like, oh, let's have 5 viewbots and then get rid of 2 of them in 5 minutes, and then bring in 10 and get rid of 1.
Really?
To make it look like a natural view count going up and down. So it's very easy to cover that shit up.
This is
for people
so advanced.
I've consistently looked into this because it was a big topic of discussion, and I wanted to know my shit before anyone says that it's sus that I understand viewbots. I'm autistic. I like to learn things. I looked into like 5 different fucking types as well. I looked at every fucking article you could find because it's interesting to me. And I want to know how it works. It's fucking awful as well. Why would you want fake viewers in your... I do believe it can also affect you in the algorithm if you have them, so it's not going to do anything good for you in case anyone's curious. But yeah. So he's saying that in a group chat, unfortunately I do not presently have the group chat on me. But he thinks, and this, I can forgive him for this, he thinks I was using his information and spreading it around. It was my information. I suspected it.
Bye, hero.
I blew the whistle on my own information. It was just someone else telling me that they also suspected it that made me want to do so. I didn't mention his name because I didn't know him at all. I remember when I met him, I followed him on Twitter, he didn't follow me back, and then he was kicked from the Discord, and I unfollowed him, and that was it. So yeah. Anyone not understanding this part? I'm sorry, I know I'm laughing. This is still very stressful for me. But I know Sylvie will probably use the fact that I sound fine against me. I apologize. I do better the more I talk. I'm a yapper, what can I say? But if I...
Careful. Some people will use nervous laugh against you. And that's why she's, I've had that happen to me, actually. Yeah, no, that's why she has to clarify that, because people will literally use you laughing as a way to discredit your character.
If I sit here, I'm not going to sit here and purposely sound upset for you. Like, yes, I'm upset. My heart's going 1,000,000 miles an hour right now.
Yeah.
My breathing is terrible. But it is what it is, right?
So...
I also have to tilt.
That wasn't in the Google Doc. Why would Sylvie admit to spreading rumors of Marina's viewbotting? He didn't include the screenshot. I don't think he included that part. He included the...
And moment. I have a
That's crazy.
Desk now, chat, so I can tilt. And it helps my pain so much now that I can actually tilt myself back and go in with my chair. Fucking love that shit. The desk? Oh, it was only like... Oh god, it was like 170 or something. It was not that bad. Personally verified. Wiggles, thank you for saying that in chat. I appreciate it. I know you don't have to say that, but yes, a lot of people kind of verified there was something going on. It was certainly verified though. Different modes? It does, but I just put it up and down. I have a wheelchair with tilt. For anyone curious, it's the Q500M. And I basically tilt it and then just put my my armrest above the desk. It's great. Tilt controls, yeah. Sorry, we'll go on. We can have a casual talk during an ad break. This is gonna take fucking forever. But yeah, I never betrayed his trust because I didn't know him and I wasn't spreading anything to do with him.
And he called it his little group chat. That's so condescending.
Wasn't using his evidence because I didn't know it was him. It was my own evidence. I hope we all understand this, and I'm gonna keep asking if we understand, because if someone doesn't and it can be misconstrued, I want to deal with that now, because this is the last fucking time I talk about this, okay? You're hearing the fucking Scottish now.
Wait, do I get this right? So he says, I also know about your little group chat where you use me as evidence without my consent, even after I denounced my claims because I actually saw counter evidence. And then Lenox responds, I spoke about the evidence I had on the botting. I knew about the botting before anyone came to me. Honestly, don't even know what you mean by my little group chat. You meant a chat made to have a call so I could make people aware there's a potential bot issue going around to protect them? Where are you getting this skewed info? So basically, by saying that he admitted that he was the one spreading the rumors, am I getting this right?
Chat. You probably never heard me be this Scottish in your life, but when I talk about this stuff, it really does like amp it up for me. Chat, there's a reminding chat in my Discord. If you want me to do something after stream, put it in that chat. But yeah, I'm like, I didn't talk about you. I spoke about the evidence I had on the botting. I knew about the botting before anyone came to me, which can be backed up by everyone I've spoken to and me right now. What do you mean by my little group chat? You mean a chat made to have a call so we can make people aware that there's a potential bot issue going around to protect them? Where are you getting the skewed info? If you really don't get it, it's not going after a child to call out their mother's actions. She cried about him on stream, because I've been told about this right after I spoke up.
Oh no,
I'm
okay.
not stupid. I don't appreciate...
It's after. To clarify, I didn't know you had evidence until Marina told me the day before the last meeting where I left. So Marina outed him. Am I getting this right?
People using their kids to negate the harm they cause, that's all. This is cynical of me. I understand that this is a cynical viewpoint, but at that point I was done with Marina. I do not have to give every single person benefit of the doubt 100% of the time, because he sure hasn't fucking done that for me, okay? I will give everyone in here benefit of the doubt to the best of my abilities, but I cannot do it for everyone. I can't. Sometimes I have to put my foot down, or I will continually be taken advantage of, okay? I will become a doormat. Luigi? Do I actually sound like a Luigi now? And I said to him, I do not feel comfortable talking to you about what she did. I do not owe you that. If you really wanted to know, you could have came to me on better terms, but you are not a friend, nor someone I trust. It wasn't just her either. To clarify, I didn't know you had evidence until Marina told me the day before the last meeting where I left. So that's when I learned, right? After, like, I went on a call with Marina where she berated...
Lenox is just so much more gracious and well-spoken than I would ever be. Let's just say that.
Me, which we know about, and she was like, my mod Sylvie had the evidence. And I'm like, oh, who the fuck is Sylvie? And then I went, oh, the guy with the mask? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, he didn't tell me shit. I genuinely came to this conclusion on my own and then had it confirmed. But I also don't think it's necessarily you doing it. However, you being so like this about it is really sus. And I also told her, please do not viewbot if you are, because it's going to hurt you. You're giving people consult services and charging them money based on your view count. It's okay to have 100 viewers. It's okay to have 50 viewers. Hell, I'm going to come back to streaming with like 20 people probably because it's been like over a year. Viewbots won't help me, and viewbots won't help her either. And that's all I said. I don't know if she's botting or not, and I don't care. I just cared about the group stats. And then she went on to me about, I never got to tell you guys this before, but she was crying about her autistic son because she can't afford to look after him. And how would I feel? And it's like, my benefits were cut for 4 years straight. And I have never considered artificially inflating my view count. Or if it had happened, I would still deal with it. I would cancel any commissions or services that were affected by that. And I would not take sponsorships until it was confirmed to be fixed. Personally, but I have strong views. I have a strong like view on this, right? And she got really upset and she was like, oh, think how I feel about my son. And I'm like, here's the thing though, like she doesn't...
Lenox is evidently way more principled than Marina from everything we've seen so far in this stream.
I'm sorry, this is going to come across a little bit more on the gossipy side, but I'm just putting
like
everything
from
out there
the misgendering issue, the viewbotting things, it's evident to me. Marina pretends she has a strong moral compass, but when it comes to making actual hard decisions, she doesn't take the right ones.
Knew at the time and why this was really manipulative, but she doesn't live with her son. Her son is in America and she is in Canada with her girlfriend, and she goes to America very rarely for her medication and hopefully to see her son. It's not my issue, yeah. And she was, you know, crying to me about it. This woman's like at least 10 years older than me as well, so I did feel kind of like there was a power imbalance, but I'm not going to play that shit because I can stand my own ground, and I tried my best to, and she kept telling me what you did was wrong. What you did was morally wrong, and I'm like, no, what I did was not what you wanted me to do, Marina. That's what I fucking said to her. I'm allowed to handle things differently. That doesn't make me a bad person. She's like, I think it does make you a bad person that you did that. Because think how I feel. Everyone was going to attack me. No one was going to attack her. We wanted to have a talk together and help her. But it was being framed as us trying to attack her. But yeah, I'm like, you didn't even stick out in my mind. I never mentioned you until after I spoke to Johnny. He asked me not to, and I never did again.
Yeah, I'm glad she didn't play the power imbalance card. A lot of people are just tired of that word. Even though they had every right to, because Marina was the leader of the group, and she's kind of intimidating.
Yeah. Yeah, like, Johnny was like, don't mention Sylvie. So when we had the meeting in BT Rainbow, I didn't mention Sylvie by name. And that was it. I hate not getting along with people, and I hate misinformation, but I can tell you right now that you were never used as evidence. I know it was spun that it was all you in the meeting, but that was Marina and not me. Marina was like, my mod did this, it was his fault, and we shouted at him for it. And God, I feel bad for the guy, because there was definitely an issue. He made Marina aware, and then he got berated.
Because you're a racist and transphobic, Mizu. Obviously.
By his friends in private for it, and then got kicked out of an entire other friend group because he'd been doing the back and forth stuff, probably because he wanted to hear all sides, right? Like, maybe he wanted to hear all sides. I can respect that, but he ended up getting caught in the crossfire, and he made everyone mad and upset, and he fucked up or whatever. But honestly, he was right to bring to Marina that issue because he was trying to help her, and I'm upset, I'm hurt for him that he was treated so badly for it.
Oh, yeah, Sylvie, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome, welcome.
I agree, Halo. I really agree. Like, you can feel sympathy over his losses. I know he was also removed from Aaron's Discord, like, around his birthday, but that had nothing to do with me, so that can't be brought up. Like, I'm sorry, but I didn't remove you. I didn't know it was your birthday, and I had nothing to do with it. The manager lady that I had severe issues with, and so did...
I'll be honest, I wish she would have talked about me with any of that. It's a little upsetting to know she dipped on me because people throw random stuff about me. You mean Marina? Sylvie so far is the one bringing this up over and over again.
Did a lot of my friends, the one that I made the document on like last year when I was in the middle of moving.
Oh.
Because he was upset, and this is something his friend said to me in private, and I still don't know what to do about this because he told me publicly to say publicly which friend silenced me and made me delete tweets, but I don't want to do that to them because I think they're a really nice person, and I don't want them to get shit. So if I do eventually end up saying it, it's because he told me to, and I don't want shit to go to them because they have given Sylvie all of the benefit of the doubt that I have.
Well, I don't think Lenox agrees with all of that. they just don't agree with all of you guys' views.
I've been giving him, but from a friend's perspective. And I just hope that they're holding him accountable. He's like, for botting, yeah, no one was denying it. So he's admitting here no one was denying that there's bots. But Marina told us
I don't know which
bots.
one in particular.
Not even the person in question when I spoke to them. Marina denied the bots. When Twitch stated numerous times that there was no evidence of intentional viewbotting, that's because you can't prove intentional... No, I have to correct you. He did not confirm that Marina bots. He confirmed that there were bots on her page, on her account.
Okay.
Twitch cannot give evidence of intentional viewbotting. Like, if they can't tell that you personally did it,
okay,
then they can't ban you, right? That's just how it is. But if you're seeing it consistently happening and not trying to fix it, that can be seen as a problem. But I understand there's only so much you can do. If a bunch of gay people were being targeted, that fucking sucks. Yeah, some bots are harmless, and some bots aren't even view bots, they're just stat bots, right? It's I know a lot about this now, but we understand this, right? Viewbotting is common, correct. Fans viewbot their streamers, but the issue is that Marina, her girlfriend, and at least one other person had all basically had concrete evidence of being viewbotted. So I wasn't saying that she did it, I was letting everyone know that it's a problem in VT Rainbow, because that's like a fifth of the group, or a quarter. There was 15 or 16 of us, so it's a sizable amount when a lot of it, like, this was all people of different sizes too. And like, Fen actually had bots in her chat typing.
Yeah.
It was kind of scary. I was worried for her at the time. Yeah, that's why I was trying to fucking figure it out myself. I was terrified about being botted up until I was told it was happening, and I'm like, holy shit, I've been thinking about this happening to me for ages, because I said to my partner at the time, I'm so worried that I am going to get botted too. But yeah, streamers don't realize the damage they're doing, blah blah blah, Twitch themselves state to not talk about it publicly because that stuff can be damaging to anyone. Right, this has been made especially public now, unfortunately. And just to clarify, have I said that Marina botted herself on purpose? No. Multiple members of VT Rainbow were being botted, and that's all we know, so I made people aware. I personally don't use Seribot, but I'm not going to get into that one. I also asked Twitch myself what their policy was for sharing user data, because I wanted to see if someone outside the involved party in Twitch could get info. I'm like, Sylvie, we can agree to disagree on the botting. I've seen evidence that she was told the opposite, but again, I never mentioned you or used you as evidence, had no idea you were involved, until Marina told me. You can see I just don't want to talk to him. I don't want to talk to him. I'm literally just, like, I disagree, let's be cordial and stop this. But he doesn't stop. And he has a pattern of just berating and attacking and going towards these people. Until they agree with him, he beats them down into a corner, and we're barely into this. What I was told by Twitch themselves, not seen proof of this by the way, was that not only do they have a policy against sharing user data with anyone outside the party, but it's also against the law to do so. I'm like, okay, I don't care. And I'm like, I told VTR members about potential botting to make sure they could check themselves. It was massively blown up. He's like, I was used as a member of her staff who believed she was doing it intentionally. No, we said that people who had experience working with Twitch had found out about the bots by looking into it for other people involved. Not, when I say staff, we meant ex-Twitch staff. We did not mean SilvySpark moderator for Marina staff. Thank you, Dandy. I hate that I have to take it this far, but it's gotten this far. And you can also confirm he's already publicly spoken about the botting stuff before I have. I protected her, and I kept it private. Handled it the best I could. Daddy's someone that was there. I was privately terrified and trying to protect everyone because I didn't want anyone else to have bots on their account. I just wanted people to be safe. And this could be confirmed by so many people. And I will say I had one fuck up in that group chat. And that was when someone had went and spoken to Marina, who in my opinion was definitely the most easily emotional person. She was a lovely fucking person. I say was. She's still alive, by the way. She's a lovely person. And she was in tears because Marina had basically, in my opinion, been quite manipulative to her from my own experience.
Okay.
I pointed this out and people were like, let's not use the word manipulative. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I understand. I am very upset and triggered. I just don't want people to get taken advantage of. And that was the only bad thing that was said in that chat. Some of the chat was just posting gay shit too. The chat was only used for like 2 days. And it was barely typed in. It was like 2 or 3 voice calls and I was only there for like 1.5. So yeah. No one got banned for bots. Please go back. You've seen what I said because he's not responding to me right now. I don't want you thinking I used you as evidence or whatever when I never even knew you were involved.
All these issues got debunked. And guess what? I never said any of that to them because I wasn't the person who told anyone. The reason why I'm talking all about this is to explain why I did it, because I'm no leaker. Okay, well, I claim I did something I didn't. I literally never mentioned you to anyone inside VT Rainbow. You know I saw the group chat, right? Like, that should be a big hint. There was no group chat where we spoke about you. It was for a call. Someone else made one for another call, literally to ease access. Like, are you being mad lied to or what? I literally have no idea what you mean. Okay, but then he could show her. He could show Lenox the evidence or the screenshots. I really don't like being lied to here, Lenox. I don't speak in riddles. But I'm telling you, I have no fucking idea what you're talking about. Doesn't mean it didn't happen, but right now I have no idea. Was this after Marina called me? Because then I went all out and said exactly what Marina was going to tell us in the meeting. And that was betraying your trust. That was mealing out what people said. Also, I don't appreciate being called a liar. I don't speak riddles. I don't have a perfect recall either. So let's not fucking treat me like a monster when I've had a migraine for 2 days. I wasn't named in a group chat, but I was talked about. What? Okay, so I don't have the chat anymore. I don't know what you mean. I generally cannot give peace of mind when I don't know what you're talking about. Thankfully, someone took screenshots of it. I'll have to go back and get them back. I didn't save them myself. My guy, it's not that deep. With all due respect, no one was shit-talking you to my knowledge. That's why he has a hate boner for Lenox. It's not that they were shit-talking me. That's not what I'm saying. Like, if you're hurt, I'm sorry for hurt cause, but I also know I've been spoken about by you. Then I don't understand. What I'm saying, I was used as evidence when I legit didn't even know what I was talking about. I was used as evidence against my friend, which I retracted my statement I had made and told everyone I had told myself because I generally felt terrible. I don't even know what you mean, Sylvie. Used as evidence against your friend? Use my evidence? And Riri's. I know you did, like, with all due respect, the botting thing wasn't just coming from you, it was many people doing their own research. And then I was used as well as another person. We weren't named, but we did not give consent to be used as such. He's not asking consent for anybody that he's using as evidence in his Google Doc. I was used because I was at the time a member of staff. That's the issue there. Is he just making this up as he's going? What? Twitch staff? That's what I remember being discussed. I again didn't know you knew shit until Marina told me. In the group chat I used as member of staff, no moderator staff, basically someone on the inside that was confirming the idea of intentional viewbotting. I saw the screenshot, Lenox. Once again, I gave Riri a platform to speak and then myself with the info I had. Nothing I knew was from you. We barely spoke. No, I think he's just finding excuses to be upset about something. Must be exhausting living like him. I never said you were the one who said it, but you were in that group chat, you participated in it. Maybe it was in good faith, but it still resulted in a massive breach of trust and integrity. How can Lenox have breached his trust? They didn't even know you, buddy. Look, I came here to give you my thought. Dude, it's Gaslight 101. Came here to give you my thoughts on something I saw and someone who's been silently been off to the side. That's a screenshot we saw earlier. He hasn't been silent. Because guess what? I don't want to let the shit that happened a month ago drag me down from doing my job and moving forward. However, I saw what you said and made me, someone who is also disabled, very uncomfortable. If you want to talk about ableism, trust me, I'm fully aware about what that is. I've lived in my time in competitive hockey where I was called the R word nearly 20 times every game, and my autism was listed as a con on my scouts report. Also, why are you blaming me for something someone else did? I didn't betray anyone. The chat was made to call people. I wasn't moderating shit. However, subtweeting about it isn't gonna change anything. If you want to make real change, you talk to the person directly about it. You're just adding voices to the void. Lenox says, I spoke to Marina in person and she fucking made me break down in tears. Never again. I do what I think is best. No one tells me how to run my shit. It's really insane that you're spewing this shit at me for something someone else apparently did, calling it my little group chat. My guy, are you okay? And then he responds, how so? Like generally asking because I still don't know what she did to be considered ableist. Lenox responds, I told you, you aren't owed that shit. Respect it or fuck off. That's my bad. I should have worded it better to refer specifically to the group chat as a whole instead of you specifically. I appreciate the rewarding. Word choice is important. You need to understand you're engaging with people who may potentially have abuse trauma, be triggered, cannot remember everything everyone says, Sylvie. That doesn't make me a liar. It wasn't my chat. It was our chat to call once or twice. It wasn't a bitching room. I don't know you, I don't owe you anything, is that all, Sylvie? Hey, I came into your DMs sick myself, but I have COVID and it's kicking my ass. So understand me coming into your DM wasn't something I wanted or over. Doubt. I just wanted to give you my perspective as someone who does advocate work myself. As someone who's been in content creation for a decade, He loves saying that line, doesn't he? That's not the flex you think it is. You've been in content creation for a decade and you still act like a 5-year-old child. And please let me type this all out, respectfully asking this. As someone who's been in content creation for over a decade, when you talk to people, even if they are your closest friend, they'll still talk. It's why I advocate of not being any sort of leaker, because I know that I could tell my friend about a thing, and he might tell his friend about that thing, thinking that, oh, my best friend wouldn't tell others. But in reality, people do talk. Speaking from my own experience, even in this whole situation, is why I went into the DMs of everything I talked about my claim around to tell them I was renouncing it because Twitch debunked it. I don't even know. I don't even care anymore. I'm checked out of this. This guy just word vomit. There's Silver Veil being mentioned again. I more came here to give you my concerns that you were going over the line when it came to subtweeting about someone else's kid. The same thing he did with Burb. Goes into the DM to give them quote-unquote advice about how they should word things. That's not gonna be productive. It's like if I were to subtweet about Silver Veil's mom. How that's gonna help people. However, as this conversation has gone on, we got into the past of what happened with that group chat and how everything unfolded, which is why I'm telling you that you need to be careful with who you talk to. It's something I even told Adora because I was genuinely worried she might actually ruin her career. Oh man, that guy, he's so generous. He's really worried about everybody else but himself. Worried about Burb and ruining her career. Worried about Lenox and ruining their career. Jeez, what a thoughtful guy. Such a kind heart. Even though I know what she did to me, I still give a shit about people and I hope they learn. I'm not looking for war or anything, fuck. I'd rather just me be given the benefit of the doubt to people because I try my best to do so with everyone, even if they wrong me heavily. Okay, I think we've seen enough. I don't think this person's ever gonna leave the internet. They've been doing this for a decade. They don't know how to do anything else. My brain is fried from listening to this. I have other topics to cover too. Too much Sylvie from one stream, man. I don't know how Lenox didn't. I hope Lenox has some good support system that's gonna help them deal with all this because they don't deserve that. It's just insane. Hey, you! Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell button, and I'll see you in the next video.